Okay, we're going to open up the February 3rd, 2026 meeting. We'll have the invocation by Mr. Hart, and then we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Oliver, and then roll call. Please stand.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you through your abundant grace and mercy. You allowed us to come together to conduct the city's business. And Father, we pray that you help us to come in together in the spirit of unity. Even though we may disagree, let us not disrespect or disengage from one another, but continue to work together as brothers and sisters. We say a special prayer of all of our first responders who are watching over us. Watch over them as they watch over us. We're so careful to give you the praise, the honor, and the glory you do. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
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 Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Here.
Commissioner Wilson,
Here.
Mayor Johnson,
Here.
Commissioner Firstner,
Here.
Commissioner Oliver.
here.
All right, we have a proclamation here. I'll read it. Whereas this February across the United States and the state of Florida, Americans will join together to celebrate and recognize the accomplishments and lasting impact of the great African-American leaders of our countries, past and present. During this month, we applaud the transformational contributions of the African-American community, which has overcome tremendous adversity to build lasting change for generations to come. Whereas 2026 marks 100 years of National Black History Commendations. Honoring the vision of Dr. Carter G. Woodson. In 1926, Dr. Carter G. Woodson launched Negro History Week, creating a movement that transformed how America and the world recognize the contributions of people of African descent. What began as a week-long observance has grown into Black History Month, a cornerstone of America and global culture. Whereas the city of Ocoee acknowledges the importance of understanding and recognizing its past, including the lessons and stories that have shaped our community, and remains committed to fostering healing, unity, and continued progress. And whereas the city of Ocoee established the Human Relations Diversity Board comprised of residents who volunteered to bring culture awareness throughout our community. Since its inception 21 years ago, the HRDB has worked to promote understanding, respect, goodwill, and equality among all citizens and businesses of the city of Ocoee. Whereas the city of Ocoee is proud to host its 21st annual Black History Month essay contest. The essay contest is open to fifth grade students attending Ocoee schools. The winners will receive prizes and be recognized at an Ocoee City Commission meeting. Whereas residents can tune in to the Ocoee TV Spectrum Channel 493 during the month of February to watch programs that highlight significant people and events from African American history. Citizens may also visit City Hall to see a Black History Month display with biographical portraits of notable African Americans. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the City Commission of the City of Ocoee does hereby declare the month of February 2026 as Black History Month. The city shall celebrate the vibrant culture and achievements African Americans have contributed to our country. This month and throughout the year, we urge our residents to celebrate their heritage and continue to fight for equality and opportunity for all. In witness thereof, I have to set my hand and cause the seal of the city of Ocoee, Florida, to be affixed this third day of February, 2026. Rusty Johnson, Mayor. All right. Now, we have a young lady here, if I find the paper, Miss Pam Jones, to come up. You want to come up to the microphone? Works for Congressman Webster.
Yes, my name is Pam Jones, and I'm the Community Relations Representative for Congressman Daniel Webster. So I'm glad to be here among the City of Ocoee and the staff and the commission of Ocoee, and we were, the congressman was at the office with Mr. Chadricks, and Mayor Johnson came as well, and the congressman presented an extension of remarks recognizing the 100-year anniversary of the city of Ocoee. So this was back in May, and later the Mr. Chadricks said, could every one of our commissioners have a copy of the extension of remarks? And I said, of course. An extension of remarks is a congressional record. You can look it up on Google. It is filed with the Library of Congress forever. So this was a very special recognition for the city of Ocoee. So I'd like to have each one of you have this, and I will hand it right here to your clerk.
You want to do that up front? Let everybody come up front?
I would, yeah. That'd be a great photo. That would be
You
fantastic.
got somebody take the pictures out back?
I would love it.
I'm sure.
Let's all come down front.
No, I can't get up. He'll be out in a second, I'm sure.
There he is.
Yes, I would love it if you would open it. I would love it if you open it. Yes, hold it down. You can fold the paper. But hold it like this. Yes, it is with me.
That's one of you, Rosemary.
Oh, thank you.
And I must say, you did an amazing job all through the year, doing wonderful things throughout the year to commemorate. What your city did was fantastic. I was there with most of it, but not all of it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're always right.
Well, I tried. Tried.
She's everywhere.
Thank
You always keep us up on the news.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You got that seat. It's okay. Just all move down one.
All right. Staff report.
Yes, sir. I have a few items. I'll try to move quickly. Announcement that at the February 17th City Commission meeting, Orange County Public Schools will be providing the commission a brief presentation on the proposed upgrades at Ocoee Middle School. So I want to encourage you to let your residents know. We'll have that posted online as well. Second item I have, we had a garbage truck malfunction today. And the Windermere Grove subdivision was missed for pickup and will be recovered tomorrow morning. The third thing I have is a quick little announcement. I want to encourage you all to promote this as well. It's going to be hitting Facebook tomorrow, and flyers are going to be dropped off at all of our Ocoee schools for our City of Utilities poster contest. It's called the Drop Savers Water Conservation Poster Contest. Students are going to be encouraged to create a poster depicting a water conservation idea in slogan and or drawing form. And this is a great way to inspire our next generation of water conservation ambassadors. So I'll respectfully request that you guys help us promote this so we can get some good entries, and you'll get to recognize them after the entries are due March 1st, so we should be back in front of you shortly thereafter to announce the winners. And the last thing I had is we had agreed to allow Mr. Gaylor, our city attorney, to provide a brief update and discussion on some of our statutory changes relating to Senate Bill 180. I'll turn it over to him.
Sure. Y'all will recall that in mid-July, we approved of Envision 2045, our new comprehensive plan. The Florida legislature adopted what is commonly known as SB 180, which says that you cannot have a land use ordinance or comprehensive plan that is more burdensome or restrictive. So we were faced with doing away with 5 years' worth of work, or the solution we came up with was we're going to have an opt-out. So if a developer does not want to proceed under Envision 2045 and all the benefits that it would give that developer, they could instead opt to go under the existing comprehensive plan that's been in place forever and ever. With that type of setup, no one could, with a straight face, say that our Envision 2045 was more restrictive or burdensome. Regardless, we received a letter, and similar letters were sent to municipalities throughout Florida. We found more than 20 of these letters issued by the Department of Commerce, which stated that our Envision 2045 was null and void. We disagreed with that strongly, and we made multiple efforts to have the Department of Commerce rescind their null and void letter. They refused or declined to do so. Needless to say that there was substantial uncertainty about the legality of Envision 2045. So we had no choice but to file an administrative proceeding in what's known as DOA, the Florida Department of Administrative Hearings. And the intention of doing this was to flush out the department's position with respect to the legality of Envision 2045. And we managed to do that, even though the administrative law judge ultimately ruled against us on a technicality. We got what we were looking for here. So the department had to say, because they had to respond to us, they said that this, quote, null and void letter does not create rights, require compliance, or compel the city to do or not do anything. That at most it expresses the department's view of the law without any binding legal effect. The department admitted that it did not challenge Envision 2045 before it legally became effective, which would have been on August 28th, 2025. In addition, the administrative law judge's order held that the department does not have legal authority to declare comprehensive plan amendments null and void under the enabling legislation that was approved by the Florida legislature. So it is our opinion, and we've expressed this to the City Commission during the holiday season, and I'm now reporting to the public, that it is our opinion that Envision 2045 is effective as of August 28th, 2025, and that the city should proceed accordingly.
And we have been doing so.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nothing further, Mayor.
Huh?
I don't have anything further.
Thank you, sir. All right. Public comments. I have Dr. Jim Moyer.
Thank you, Maribel.
Of course.
Shut off her. There. It's
coming up.
Got to go back. What's wrong with the system?
Sorry. Yeah, that one. Thank you. And then I just click, right? Oh, this one? Okay, thank you. Good evening, Dr. Jim Moyer. I'm the elected Orange Soil and Water Conservation District 2 Supervisor. This is our board.
Go ahead, I'm trying to.
3 minutes, yeah. This is our board. Since the last time I was here, this is some of the recent activities. I had a very informative meeting with Ocoee Public Works. I thank them for that. I sent an email to the state, county, OCPS, Ocoee elected officials, and key staff. I made a public presentation to Orange County BCC, and I had a productive meeting afterwards with the Orange County EPD acting manager, Liz Johnson, and I've had a discussion about the possibility of having a cleanup on just certain streets right prior to spring into conservation, maybe with some students from Ocoee Elementary School. I'm commending the city for Uni Park. It prevents pollutants into Stark Lake from the west. The Ocoee website, Stark Lake White Paper Part 2, is excellent in my view. Initiating a 3-year plan to reduce the pollutants is outstanding. And discussing, as I did with Public Works, complementary initiatives. There is a difference between cleanup and protect anything, including our lakes. Cleaning up is reactive, such as dealing with pollutants currently in the lake. Protecting is proactive. Uni Park, for example, protects from the west side, prohibiting pollutants from going in there and focuses on our children's future. These are some suggestions. They have been discussed, not finalized, just for consideration, some thoughts. On the north side, possibility of 4 baffle box, similar to what the state paid for at Lake Olympia. On the east side, possible public-resident partnership to plant the right native vegetation. And I handed out flyers that came from Orange County EPD that they generously provided. On the south side, it'd be a combination partnership with the farm, the residents, OCPS, possible ag grant, and possible public resident OCP partnership to plant the right native vegetation. When we come together, it's a beginning. When we keep together, it's progress. When we work together, it's success. Henry Ford. Thank you for your time, and God bless all of you.
Thank you, Dr. Moore. Mr. Aegis Hart.
A man much wiser than me once told me that people don't always have to be kind to you. So when they do, the least you could do is go back and tell them thank you. So I'd like to thank City Commission, Mayor, and City staff for giving me the opportunity to do something I've always wanted to do. You gave me the opportunity to be the keynote speaker at a man I have the utmost respect for, Martin Luther King. It was a joy and an honor to do so. I remember carrying my daughters on my shoulders when they were little babies, and I was so proud that Ocoee, of all places, would honor Martin Luther King. So I want to thank the city once again. And success doesn't happen by accident, and it doesn't happen in a vacuum. It happens because people came together with a plan. And for 21 years, the city has invested in the Human Relations Diversity Board, and now that those seeds are bearing fruit. I used to work at Disney. One of my first jobs, I was a janitor out there between high school and college, and I worked in Fantasyland. And of course, in Fantasyland, they have a ride called It's a Small World, and it shows the 7 continents and all the diversity in the world. Well, Disney may think they own diversity, but they don't. Ocoee is more diverse than any place around here. So in the words of MC Hammer, when it comes to diversity, you can't touch this. God bless you. Thank you for this opportunity. Have a great night. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Hart, appreciate it. You did a great job that day. Thank you. That's all the public comments I've got forms for, so we'll go to the consent agenda.
Mayor, I just need one thing corrected on it. Item number 3, it says District 1, should be District.
Say it, I can't.
Okay,
Say it again. Mark.
okay. Item number 3 says District 1, it's District 2, just to correct the verbiage on the item. That's all I asked it when we approve, if we approve it, to correct that.
On the staff report.
It is on the agenda item staff report. It says District 1, it should be District 2.
Yeah. All right. Whoever makes the motion, we need to put that in the,
I'll be happy to make the motion to approve with the change of District 3, change in district number on item 3.
all right, here a second.
Second.
Second, motion made by Commissioner Wilson with the exemptions on it, and then the second was by Commissioner Fershner. Any more comments? Let's vote. Okay, let's go down to number 11.
Moving right
Yep.
along. Yeah.
Second reading of ordinance. Second reading of annexation ordinance 2277 Fuller's Crossroad, Berrigan property. Project AX 0725-07, planner Belizaire. Okay.
There it is. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Tonight I'll be presenting the annexation application for the property located at 227 Flores Crossroad. For issues, it is whether or not the Honorable Mayor and City Commission should approve the proposed annexation from,
Let's speak, pull that mic up a little bit and speak into it. Okay, thank you.
May not be on.
Is it on?
can you guys hear me?
Okay.
Is this good? Okay. Okay, cool. I'll just start over. Sorry about that, guys. So I'll be presenting the annexation application for the property located at 2277 now I can hear my voice.
There you go.
2277 Fuller Cross Road. Okay. For issues, it is whether or not the Honorable Mayor and City Commission should approve the proposed annexation from Orange County into the city of Ocoee for the property located at 2277 Fuller's Cross Road. For background, the property is located on the northwest corner of Fuller's Cross Road and North Lakewood Avenue intersection. It's one parcel and a little bit over 5 acres large. Currently, the lot remains as vacant, and it is within the State Road 429 Overlay District, in which it'd be subject to the Interchange Village Character Area Design Plan. Here we have the aerial photography of the lot. This is the future land use map indicating the low-density residential designation. And this is the surrounding zoning map showing those adjacent city properties. So both the Development Review Committee as well as the Planning and Zoning Commission met during their respective meetings and made a unanimous recommendation of approval for the proposed annexation. And similarly, staff is also making the recommendation of approval of the annexation of the property from the county into the city for 2277 Flores Crossroad. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
All right. Ready? Go ahead and read.
Yes. An ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, annexing into the corporate limits of the City of Ocoee, Florida, certain real property containing approximately 5.09 acres located at 2277 Fuller's Cross Road in the northwest corner of Fuller's Cross Road and North Lakewood Avenue intersection, pursuant to the application submitted by the property owner, finding said annexation to be consistent with the Envision 2045 Ocoee Comprehensive Plan, the Ocoee City Code, and the Joint Planning Area Agreement, providing for and authorizing the update of official city maps, providing direction to the city clerk, providing for severability, prevailing in the event of any inconsistency, and providing for an effective date.
All right, I'm going to open the public hearing for item number 11, second reading of annexation ordinance 2277 Fuller's Crossroad, Berrigan property. All right, I'll close the public hearing, bring it back up for the dais. We need a motion or comments.
I'll make the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner
Kennedy.
Kennedy.
I'll second it.
Second by Commissioner Oliver. All right, any more comments? Now let's vote.
It happens to all of us.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Number 12 is regular agenda. Code enforcement, foreclosure, and policy recommendation. Police Chief Ogburn.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Early part of December, you all wanted staff to go back and bring back some recommendations for code enforcement fines. And since then, we've been busy. And the purpose of this briefing is to present strengthened foreclosure framework within the city of Ocoee, to recommend some thresholds and timelines to align with other regional agencies in the Central Florida area, and to increase fairness and cost recovery, and finally, to request Commission's approval on the recommendations. So while the policy updates are needed to increase in chronic violations that are occurring throughout the city, to kind of clean up the abandoned and deteriorating properties within the city. And currently, the city is absorbing enforcement costs as dealing with abatements, mailing fees, and staffing fees to send letters out to these property owners. Currently, we have no defined foreclosure timeline, and there is a need for consistency and accountability in the way we enforce these violations. Our regional benchmarking was the city of Apopka, the city of Winter Garden, Orlando, Orange County, and of course, us. Recommendation number 1 is to implement a $500 a day minimum threshold. This promotes early compliance with the violations. It prevents excessive lien buildup, and it aligns with regional practices. It also improves safety and eliminates nuisance concerns with these properties. And again, it ensures fairness and predictable enforcement. Recommendation number 2 is the requirements for foreclosure review. We would begin the foreclosure review 6 months after a lien recording if the lien is greater than $15,000, the property is non-homesteaded, and we don't get a response from the owner from all the mailings that we send out. Recommendation number 3 is a structured pre-foreclosure process. Step 1 would be a lien requirement letter being sent out. Step 2 would be a settlement conference with the property owner and the Code Enforcement Administration. Step 3 would be Code Board or Magistrate review and their recommendation. Step 4 is the Commission's authorization of the foreclosure. And Step 5, we would send notice of a hearing. Recommendation number 4, we would establish a foreclosure and cost recovery fund. As I said earlier, we have to come out of our budget for that. This foreclosure cost recovery fund will cover upfront legal and filing expenses. The funds would be reimbursed to this fund through the settlements and the sale of the properties. Recommendation number 5 is to reconsider the magistrate to hear these cases. Reconsidering using a magistrate to hear the proceedings as opposed to a code enforcement board. And by using a magistrate, it avoids decisions being overturned on appeals, and a member of the prevailing side can also introduce a motion to reconsider the previous decision that was made to have a code board hear these cases. The fiscal and community impact of this recommendation is accelerates compliance, reduces long-term conditions that deteriorate a property or a neighborhood, and improves neighborhood appearance and safety. The requested commission actions: 1, we would request a $250 a day maximum fine threshold. Recommend that minimum fines accrue $15,000. Set a 6-month foreclosure review start. Approve structured pre-foreclosure workflow to authorize the city attorney filings. Establish foreclosure recovery fund. And lastly, request reconsideration from the commission to have the code enforcement cases heard by a magistrate. And that is my recommendations. Staff.
All right, commissioners, comments, if you have them.
I have some.
Let's
Okay.
start with Commissioner Kennedy.
There you go.
I'm a little confused, to be honest. It's probably me. It seems like this addresses a mix of both residential and commercial violations.
This is commercial. I'm sorry, residential. This is residential here.
Okay, so it's my understanding that we can't foreclose the residential because of homestead?
Homestead are exempt.
Okay. That's what I thought. So when we started, I thought we were talking commercial. You have, see, there you have the $250 a day maximum fine threshold. On the first or second side, there was a $500 threshold.
I think, Commissioner, you're correct. That should be a minimum fine threshold on the requested commission action.
Of 500.
No, 500 max
500 max.
and 250 minimum.
Okay. So if we're at the 500, you reach the 15,000 in 30 days, would you still wait for 6 months? Or would you, in my opinion, if you hit 15,000, start the band. But is there a logic behind the 6 months?
We kind of want to give the property owner an opportunity to come forth and plead their case.
Okay.
I mean, like you said, within 30 days, that would be kind of harsh. So we want to give them a little time to plead
So
their
it's
case.
500. No offense, I don't mean to be. But I like it. I mean, I personally like harsh for this. The second thing I wanted to know is about enforcement. I know you all did some, I know there's things about patrolling. I know you all did like a targeted area cleanup to kind of work around some of those things.
Yes, sir.
Is there, like, what is the guidance on, and what, like, specifically, like, what's the penalty if we patrol code enforcement? Do we know, have we looked at what that looks like?
Actually, the penalty for patrol,
Actively patrolling, code enforcement officers actively patrolling the city rather than responding to complaints?
well, they are, commissioners. Most of our code in the past have been complaint-driven, but now they are taking a more proactive approach into going out to,
Commissioner, you mind, he wants to
No, I don't.
comment.
Oh, I just wanted to shed some light on the, they're under Chapter 162, I think it's 16209 Florida statutes. A code board or special magistrate can impose a fine of up to $250 per day per violation. If it is a repeat violation, then the fines can go to $500 per day per violation. So if the intent here is to go with the maximum, that would be the maximum that you could do under the Florida statutes.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Geller, Mayor, permission,
Yeah.
thank you. I would like for Mr. Geller to weigh in because of the discussion with regard to active versus passive code enforcement. We have a code that promotes a complaint-driven. We are allowed under a statute to sweep areas, which we have done and are doing more so. But we do, can you speak to that, please?
Well, certainly, you can have code officers or whoever is designated to do so to patrol the city, and when they find violations, to bring that to either the code enforcement board or the special magistrate, as the case may be. I did want to, if you just indulge me, I serve as a special magistrate for the city of Cape Canaveral, and I just wanted to share my perspective on this, on whether you reconsider your prior decision, which was to keep a code enforcement board for residential and then keep the special magistrate for commercial. I handle both for that particular city. And there are certain, I guess there's, the disadvantage is that then you lose some citizen participation. The advantage is that you don't have a quorum issue. I can be very efficient in making decisions. I know the law. I know Chapter 162. I'm pretty sure about that code citation I gave just a second ago. And I know the city codes of the city that I serve. So there's an advantage to knowing the law, and there's an advantage to having someone who knows how to write written decisions to make them bulletproof on appeal. In doing so, a municipality can save the expense of appeals because someone gets the written opinion and they know there's nowhere to go with an appeal. And so you just avoid an appeal altogether, or you're going to win the appeal, chances are. And then the last advantage with a special magistrate is that when I hear cases, I do so very dispassionately. I'm not elected by anyone. I was just appointed by that particular city council. I do not feel conflicted when someone appears before me because I'm not that person's neighbor. And I am not disinclined to cut someone a break if they're violating the code. So you don't have any kind of conflicts of interest. You don't have any kinds of perceived or actual favoritism. And I'm not saying that that is happening here in our city here, but you certainly avoid that from ever happening when you have a dispassionate special magistrate looking at these things.
All right.
Mayor,
Go ahead.
sir, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I wanted to finish up on that. What we are actively doing is trying to educate people in the public. And that's one thing that, direction from the mayor and commission has been very clear on. So we are taking a more active role in the public to talk to people that we see violations with and say, hey, you could get cited for this. Why don't you go ahead and think about cleaning it up? And it's more about that. Our goal is to bring about compliance and also equity and fairness to neighbors of places that are being allowed to fall into a very neglected state in many cases in the city. And we are seeing some fruits of the labor that the commission undertook to direct us to be more proactive already. We have had a number of liens resolved, and people have come and paid in full. And that's due to our letter campaign that we sent out. But we do recommend that you direct me to continue with what the chief just presented to you, because it helps us, once the word gets out, that we're serious and we will foreclose if we need to, that will help bring about, the word spreads very quickly. And so, but up to this point, we've never really, except for one instance, foreclosed anyone. Mm-hmm. So, and the chief was very clear, we can't foreclose a homesteaded property, which we would not intend to do that, but there are a number of them that are not homesteaded that, have been accruing fines that we can prompt some of these property owners to try and clean their properties up. And this is after we've exhausted education, going over and talking to them, and going through the due process under the code.
Commissioner, you got any more?
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate the explanation, and just to clarify what I meant by harsh, the discretion in the process, in my opinion, belongs with your officers. We all know the code enforcement officers go out, they talk to them, they educate them, and by the time they write someone up, they know they have a serious problem. And what I don't like seeing is multiple levels of discretion that delay and dilute the enforcement. So I'm totally in support of a magistrate, because as we know, by the time it gets to that point, it's been going on for a long time. My problem, and I'll close with this, with the patrolling, I saw something tonight. I saw what is supposed to be a luxury apartment complex. Last week I saw it. There's a whole bunch of construction vehicles and bucket trucks and things that are parked in the resident parking spaces at night. That's supposed to be a violation. And what I don't like, and the feedback I get from residents in my district, is, we drive by, we see it. We assume officers drive by and see it. And we would like to assume that if we see something, it's been written up or being handled. And I think the process that we have today, and I like your recommendations, is I don't have that. I routinely call staff and I'm like, do you have a case on this? No, nobody's reported it. And they go out and they check. Yeah. And I think as a resident, I'd like to have more confidence that when I drive down the road and I see something that is clearly wrong and is clearly highly visible, and I know I'm not the only one seeing it, that your officers are writing it up. And at the moment, I just don't have that confidence. I think the changes made to pull enforcement into the police department have been great, and I love where you're going with that. I support the recommendations and being stricter, and I support the magistrate. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, Commissioner.
Chief, are you finding that with the board, that they're reducing fines? That they're saying, you know, it's, oh, we're only going to charge you $50 a day?
Yes.
And that's a problem. Because again, I feel like I'm very loud. Okay, are we back?
Back up a little.
Can we back up a little bit? Okay, thank you. I might need to turn it off. I can probably speak very loud. That's a problem with me. Because we have folks that call each one of us and complain about the neighbors, but legislature didn't do us any favors when they put in that you could not be anonymous. We were in Tallahassee last week, and I even mentioned that to a few of them, what a disservice they provided to our community by doing that, because folks do not want to call on their neighbor, but they'll call us and complain about their neighbor. Parking on the grass, parking, you know, for whatever. They don't want to call. But when they get to the code board, it's like a slap on the hand, I'm assuming. It's not, let's, $250 a day, thank you very much, straighten your act out.
That's where our inconsistencies are coming into play.
And I understand with Mr. Geller, that's where he's not acting as a neighbor. He's acting as the attorney. And that's an issue, because we have things, you know, people maybe have motorhomes in front of their yard. If somebody says $15 a day, it might be cheaper to pay my $15 a day than to pay to have it put into storage somewhere. Just using that as an example, or a car, whatever they have in their front yard. Or the tires are flat, it's cheaper to pay the $15 a day than put 4 new tires on. Those are issues that I think that when they get, I'm guessing when they get to the code board, are we saying, oh, I feel sorry for you, you've told me a sad story. But it's a sad story, but yet the neighbor next door has to live with that. And unless you tell someone they're going to have to either pony up the money or fix whatever the problem is. And we used to have, years ago, we used to have folks come up to us to get the fines reduced because they were doing refinancing. But the neighbor had to live with this next door to them for years. And now we're going to clean it up because we want to refinance. That was an issue that we were dealing with here as the commission. Or sell it. They had to fix it now, but that poor neighbor had to live next to that junkyard. I'm just using that as an example, for years, because they were charged, what, $10 a day? That wasn't enough. So I understand the magistrate issue. I hate putting a group of citizens, residents, out of their duty, but we have a quorum issue with them. We have had quorum issues. And again, that's a neighbor living another 30 days without something being done. And so I think the last time I was interested in a magistrate also because of that. Let's disconnect ourselves from being the neighbor to actually someone who is enforcing this. And every one of us, I'm sure, has a neighbor in their neighborhood who, every neighborhood has problems. So, and I'm sorry, I'm preaching here, but I just don't like the idea that we get the privilege of, let's only charge you $15 a day instead of $250 a day, because someone has to live next to that.
Thank you, Commissioner.
So, sorry, thank you.
I'm gonna have to put a time limit on everybody here.
I just want to, while you were waiting for someone else to speak, City Manager Shadrick's brought up the lien reduction program. Since we implemented that at the beginning of January, we've collected like $28,000. They are paying those fines. So,
How does that work, Chief?
the lien reduction, it's a formula it was implemented back in 2015. I could show it to you, but there's a formula and it comes down, they reduce it. Let me find it here.
Just send him,
It reduces the actual
Okay,
lien.
I will send you the formula.
Right. If someone comes in with their property in compliance, and the commission in 2015 had adopted a formula allowing me the authority to reduce it, okay? And that's been very successful. We've had a number of those come in. We wanted to, the formula takes into consideration staff costs, time and materials, et cetera, so that we're not out any abatement costs or anything like that.
So basically, if it warrants it, it will cover the city's administrative costs?
Yes,
Good,
for that particular property,
okay.
yes.
I'll keep it short.
Oh, you looking at it like you were done. That's going to
No.
Moving on.
I like the idea of having a magistrate. I think that that is going to reduce at least the inconsistencies in the fines. And can we use the same magistrate that we have now that's doing the commercial properties to do
Yes.
both?
You could if you want.
We just went through the process. Our former magistrate retired, and we acquired another magistrate, and we will be meeting with them next week just to give them a rundown of what their duties and responsibilities will be.
Good, that would be helpful if we could use the same individual to do
Yes.
both.
Absolutely.
Non-homestead properties, how many are we talking about in the city? Is it a great deal, number-wise?
I don't have that number off the top of my head, Commissioner.
We have a spreadsheet that we can share with the commission, or maybe a chart, that summarizes it. But there's a significant number, and, again, this is not about Ocoee getting in the code police business and going after. This is about bringing about compliance and creating a community that understands, we want to work with you, but we want your property looking nice because it's not
Right.
fair to your neighbors. So there's a pretty good list that we've looked at that we would be able to start with right away. And I think one or two of those, and word's going to get out really quick.
Yeah. And there's nothing worse than having a house that's been more or less abandoned in a neighborhood that the property owner just ignores. And it keeps deteriorating and bringing the values of that neighborhood down, and you have to live there and look at the thing every day. So that is important to control that. I like the $250 to $500 per day fine. I think that will get people's attention real fast. And if we uphold that and not bargain with them up front, I think that'll get them to react a lot faster than if they think, well, maybe I can, hold out and they'll reduce it on me and everything. So I'm all for it all. I think you did a very good job, Chief.
Thank you.
You the man.
Yep, just a couple things. On the staff report, I would have loved to see your presentation on the staff report. It just doesn't show anything on the report itself. I would have liked to have seen this before the presentation, because I'm sure I would have had a few more questions I could have gotten answered before we got here tonight. But nonetheless, one of the things I also would have liked to seen in your presentation, just without encroaching upon anyone's privacy rights, I would like to see what these properties really look like. Well, I mean, I can only imagine based on what we discuss here and doing the lien foreclosures. So I thought it'd be more effective if we can actually physically see what we're talking about.
Right around.
I've seen a few things, but
I know.
again, wouldn't know if it's homesteaded or not. But nonetheless, I'll also, again, in addition to seeing the pictures, it seems to me that the key to code enforcement is always compliance. And it sounds like when we get to this point of putting liens and foreclosures, they've had the opportunity to come in compliance. So we're beyond that step.
Correct.
So right now, the conversation we have right now is beyond compliance. If that's the case, then it sounds like we've been kicking this can down the road here for a while. Until we can actually pull the trigger and hold these owners accountable at the highest standard, then nothing's going to happen. And everyone's going to continue to do what they've always done. And they're going to continue to get the same results. So I say we need to adopt a plan tonight that is going to put some bite into the bark and hold these guys accountable for these properties that have been either A, abandoned or they're not keeping them up. And that's all I got.
Okay. First of all, with having our code enforcement board, it puts the emphasis on them when they face their neighbors or face anybody else in the city, that they've got to make the decision to say that. And I've sat in some of them, and the fines get cut in half or down to almost nothing, so, which doesn't even cover really the cost of what we do. But in a rental house, maybe the lawyer can answer this, the landlords have these houses that are code issues. They're not using it as a homestead, they're using it as a rental. Can we not foreclose those houses?
You may foreclose a rental house. It is not homestead.
There's a lot of those rental houses where the problems are at. So that's one of the major points. Find the ones that are the landlords, chief, on the Orange County, and if it's rentals, we get to take the fine, and they got to pay or go. I mean, it's got to stop. The other thing, how many code enforcement officers do we have?
We currently have 2, 1 resigned, is resigning this week.
Goddamn.
We had 4, 2 retired, we replaced 1, and now 1's resigning, so we're in the process of hiring
So
2 more.
if we get, say, the right number, you gonna put them in sections?
Yes,
Well, if they ride around in that section, they gotta see it. They're every day. I mean, don't sit at the office, don't go somewhere else, go out, and same thing with the police officers, aren't they in quadrants?
yes, sir, districts.
So, I ride around every day in the city, everywhere around here. I was up on the hill a while ago picking up my granddaughter somewhere, and I see every one of them. And it's just like the one I've told you about, there was something else going on there today. I mean, how people can live that way, I don't understand it, but the poor neighbor is one I worry about. And then the other thing is we need to make it where it'll hurt them in the pocket. And the problem is, with the law says with homestead, you can't do it. But if our rules say you cannot park 5 cars in the front yard, then we ought to enforce it. You can go up Silver Star Road, go up Fluellen and go through, and I'm not trying, I don't understand why there's 5 or 6, some of them's got 5 or 6. They got them backed in, over to the side, but there's 4 or 5 cars in the front yard. And there's an ordinance that says you can't do that. Besides that, a lot of those houses up on the hill have septic tanks in the front yard. That's a scary thing. You can go by some of those areas and smell where they've been broke. But I'm just saying it like the one I turned in out at the people in the industrial park called me. They had 100-something cars, I think, lined down through the right-of-way, and we never went out there and rode them up. To finally, you guys went out and rode, what, 30?
Almost 30.
Now, are they going back every week, riding through there?
They should be.
Well,
yeah.
there should be and would be is a different thing. I'm somebody who is going to be the one in charge of the code enforcement, because I've called twice, and every time I call, there's a different sergeant.
But that's a traffic, that's not a code enforcement. That's our traffic.
No, but I'm saying, turn the complaint in.
Yes.
So they're gonna get rid, but we need, just like that, we need to constantly go through those areas and find that. So, I just think the magistrate's the way to go. Let it be legal. That doesn't put any onus on anybody to have to put the citizens. We can take the volunteer citizens off that board and try to make sure that if they want another board, we'll put them on another board the first time the opening comes. So we won't lose them as volunteers. But I just think it's just like the commercial. We got a couple of places here, if we do not do this process, they're not gonna quit.
Right.
And that means we have to stand up, just like we did with that other one, and go to it and do the process. So, because it just keeps rolling, and we cannot spend the money we spend on Oakland and other places to make the place beautified, and then we got the problems with this other stuff. So I asked the commissioners to let's make sure we try to where we can enforce this stuff and do it the way it's supposed to be done. All right.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor, do we have to, let me turn this back. If we change that, do we have to notice it, and does that come on another agenda?
I'll ask him.
That's, okay, well.
I
how
didn't
does
take
that-
my course this week.
I mean, if we want to change that, is that something that we have to, this is just an information
This
session,
is, this
right?
is an well,
What, I'm sorry.
Notify us, we gotta change it.
if you're going to change, this is like an internal policy. I think the city manager is dying to say something.
Well, we anticipate bringing back a subsequent agenda item to any code changes that would be necessary. This, we wanted to place this on the regular agenda because we're soliciting direction from the commission, having this discussion. And with regard to the comments regarding the magistrate that have come up, because you all at a previous meeting voted to continue with the code board, can you apprise them of
Yeah, I would just.
rule with regard to how that can be
Right.
handled, please?
So I think what we need is a motion that is brought by someone who is on the prevailing side of the prior vote to keep the code board for residential
think we
code
are.
violations. So whoever was on the,
You weren't.
Who
I
would-
wasn't here.
Oh, you wasn't here.
so whoever was on the prevailing side should bring the motion, and then it should be direction.
I was in Gainesville.
He was,
Oh, I'm
he was
sorry.
absent from that meeting.
You were on the.
I don't know which, honestly, I think I was on the issue, I wanted to go with the magistrate, so was that that was not the prevailing side?
That was not.
I'm,
The prevailing side was to keep
keep-
status
to
quo.
keep-
Somebody, I don't know who
I
it
don't
was, somebody
remember.
said, but keep it with the citizens because they're volunteering their time. Now,
it may have been, but
which
I
one of anybody
don't.
mow, I don't know.
We all turned to look over.
I remember that meeting, there was a president of the board that came before us, and he spoke about the board and the different issues that they had.
Yeah.
And then we voted to allow them to continue to move forward until we decided otherwise, because they had issues with meeting quorum. And we decided to let them continue on until we get to this point right here tonight. So now we have to make a decision.
So you voted for that?
I think majority of us voted for that, yes.
But you know you did?
Yes.
You can make the motion.
Yeah, I'm not,
Okay.
I'm not sure what I did.
She's not sure, they're not sure who was on the prevailing side, but if you're sure,
Well, that was the prevailing side, yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
if you're sure you were for
Yeah.
it, make the motion.
maybe 3-1,
So,
I was the one.
what's that motion, what should that motion?
Yes, you called a motion to reconsider the prior vote to keep the code enforcement board as the body that adjudicates code enforcement complaints against residential properties.
Can you say that real fast? 3 times?
A motion to
Point,
reconsider,
say I agree.
or you could just say, I agree with what I just said. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with the city attorney's
Who's gonna second here?
proposed motion
Does that have to be a
from
second?
the commission.
Does that have to be a second who was in the prevailing, or is it the second could be any of us?
Second can be anyone.
Need a second.
So how about this, how about you restate that? I will support that motion.
I'll second the motion.
And second the motion.
reconsider.
All right, he
That'd be
made,
the safe.
Commissioner Oliver made the motion. Mr.
weren't even
Kenny
here.
seconded the motion. Oh, no more talk. Let's move. I will make a comment
That's
after
a
we
yes.
vote. It's,
Yours, I don't think.
to make sure we give them notice to the board members, notice of what we're doing, because this is probably gonna take a month or something, Craig, to get that lined up.
No, sir. We meet with the magistrate next week.
When's the next code board?
I think it's the 20th. It's, I want to say,
Third.
I thought it was here.
The 19th.
Yeah, the
after our
19th.
next meeting, the
Yeah,
17th.
so I make sure we send out official letters from the city
we will.
telling them what we're doing.
Well, there will be an ordinance that we will prepare that changes the responsibilities for residential code violations to a special magistrate from the board, and that will require 2 readings.
So that, they'll actually have, the 19th will go on as normal, because we have. it takes
Correct,
2
because the
weeks.
earliest we could do it pending advertising requirements would be the 17th.
All right,
Of March,
okay. So it's in the process now.
17th of
It
February.
still wouldn't hurt to go ahead and give them a notice saying this is what we're doing. It's going through the process. All right? All right. Let's see here. Comments from commissioners. Commissioner Oliver.
Okay. The first thing I have a very small, just a couple items I want to cover. One, since we talked, Chief, you might want to come back up, because this is about code enforcement. I'm sorry.
Don't sit down.
But I need to address an issue of illegally parked vehicles that happens in my district myself. I'll say this, I received a phone call about a month ago from a parent, and she called me, and she was kind of in disarray, and she said that her daughter's car had been booted. And I said, well, where was the car? It was at the high school. She says, well, can you help me with this? I'm like, wait a minute. So I called the principal. I said, are you booting cars at the high school? He says, yes, I am. So this is what he did. He actually gave them notice at the beginning of the school year, at least 3 notices up until he started doing it. And then he actually purchased boots. And he actually put a boot on a student's car, which they actually had to go and pay. They actually paid the school to get the car from the lot. So I see this happening at our high school. I see it at downtown Orlando, all these different places. Even looking at the Florida statutes, it states that primarily when you talk about booting vehicles, it is up to the municipality or the county ordinance rather than a single sweeping state statute. However, there is a state statute that regulates towing, but booting is actually up to us to actually determine if we're going to actually boot cars. So I noticed we've been actually given a lot of notices saying, giving them warnings, a lot of warnings, a lot of notices. What would it take for us to purchase boots and start booting these vehicles? Particularly, I have one resident who's sitting out here tonight who's been emailing back and forth for months and months, maybe a year or two, about illegally parked vehicles in his neighborhood and showing pictures, everything, but nothing has been done. It's like a cat and mouse. So when do we get to the point where we can actually start booting these illegal vehicles parked in our neighborhoods?
Well, boots usually come with fines, meaning that you've gotten X amount of citations. But I would love to get that address so that we can go out there. If the email goes to you, it never comes to us, so that we can go out and start this process.
Oh, you've gotten plenty of notices. I have a long list of emails that I've traced for at least six months or more. But what I'm saying is, are you saying our ordinance, the ordinance that's currently in place right now requires that we give them notice as opposed to just putting a sign up and say, this illegal parking, and say your car can be booted, and just boot it?
Well, there's no parking sign, that's first. Let them know they can't park there. Once you are issued a citation, you fail to pay your citation, it falls into some type of default, and we go there and it's a egregious or a repeat offender, we can boot the vehicle. But the agency doesn't have boots. We have to work with our towing company to see if they have the boots.
So I would like to eliminate that part right there, that middle part about giving them notice and all that stuff. I would have put a sign up, say if you park here, you're gonna be booted. I mean, there's so many places I've been, and the sign is just there. And if you illegally park there, I don't get a fine, I don't get a notice, all I get is a boot.
But is there a sign there? That's what I'm trying to figure out, Commissioner. Is there a sign?
Well, that's what I'm trying to get at. How do we start putting up signs of places that these commercial vehicles should not be parking, and then just boot them? I'm just trying to get to a simple solution to a real simple problem. Should be a simple problem.
What I'm hearing is if the commission has no objection, we'll bring this back as a program based on these comments, and we can report back to you at the next commission meeting on this.
Works for me, if the commission is okay with that.
Yeah.
That's up to the commission.
I don't have an objection to discussing it.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that's all I have. I have one last thing, my reflection, which is
that for
really
me,
a message to myself, and it's counterproductive of what I just said.
Is it for me, Commissioner?
Not for you.
Okay, all right.
But this message is more for myself. You're going to hear this one here, right? Here we go. Learning comes before leading. To be a good leader, you must listen more than you speak. I'm committed to listening more so that I can be a more effective leader.
I'm going to remember that. That's it, Commissioner?
That's it.
Commissioner Fershner,
No, I don't have any comments.
Commissioner Wilson,
Real life parking wars right here. Never thought about the boots. Okay. March 7th, there's going to, please mark your calendar, we're going to have the Spring into Conservation event.
that's on.
Usually you beat me to this.
Well, I was
Do you
going
want
to, but you,
You didn't get.
go ahead.
Spring into Conservation, March 7th. There's a flyer on the website. We hope to see you. It's going to be a great event, with a lot of information, right here at Lakeshore, in front of Lakeshore Center. It's put on by the City Utilities Department, so that should be an exciting event. So please mark your calendar. The other event that we're in the process of planning is another shred event, hopefully for March 14th, if things go well. So we're asking you to start saving your documents that you want shredded in a safe manner in front of the police department. There'll be more coming on that. And again, that is going to be sponsored by the Ocoee Police Department, along with the Ocoee Lions Club and the Women's Club of Ocoee. So they do ask for a donation if you feel inclined to while they're there. And each club has different events they put on that benefit the city residents. So again, March 14th and then March 7th, it'll be a busy time coming up for us. I won't say any more because I think the mayor's already got
Well,
some other things.
that's your deal you do anyway, so,
Yeah,
March 7th.
March 7th, the conservation, and since I'm also a member of the Lions Club and the Women's Club, I am involved with the shred event.
Yeah.
So, but I thought you'd jump ahead of me first.
No, I was gonna wait.
Okay, that's it, thank you.
Commissioner Kennedy.
Well, that's good, because I got a big stack of parking tickets I want to. I have no additional comment. Thank you.
All right, February events will take place Friday, February the 13th, from 6 p.m. through 9 p.m. at Ocoee Lakeshore Center in Bill Breeze Park. The event will feature live music, food trucks, games, dancing, crafts, cookie, decorating, and more. March events, skip the one she said, and go to featuring educational and sustainability exhibits, wildlife encounters, giveaways, and fun. Is that yours too?
Well,
That's Spring into Conservation.
You went into more depth, please go
Well, you didn't say that.
Well, that's why I left a
Oh,
little for
okay.
you.
There will also be a plant giveaway and rain barrel, still giving them rain barrels away, huh? Rain barrel workshop for Ocoee residents. You must register in advance for the rain barrel workshops at ocoee.org. Now, parking signs on Blueford, I know the chief might still here, but I asked about that for a month, 6 weeks ago, about parking signs, and somebody said they had to order them. It's been, how long does it take to order them? Down on Blueford there where they put in that grass and put the new buildings there, they're parking the truck that brings in cars to dump them, get rid of them. They park on the Blueford, on the road there in the afternoon during travel time, and they're parking there and it's killed the grass. It burnt the grass up because they got a big truck. That's another thing about we got signs in this city that says trucks, semis aren't supposed to be on those roads. I mean, that's another thing we need to watch out for, because the semis are driving through downtown, down at Blueford on the main roads. So we did ordinance years ago, and I don't think we changed it. It says you cannot drive the semi-truck trailers down through the city. And we can check on that too. I think, let's see. It was, like I said, I would congratulate the police last night for all the different awards, Chief. It was really the lady, it was nice to hear that you guys put the time out to give an award to the girl that works for, the young lady that works for our Winter Garden Police Department, that helped find a lady 92 or 93 years old that had got lost, and that they found her out by the 429 in a culvert. So that was really a nice way to do that. Thank you. That was great. So that'll be it till the next meeting. Have a great evening.